And now to speak a little bit more about the scalability and privacy necessities in DeFi, two also of Partisa Blockchain's UVPs, is Shivam Tandom, CEO and founder of the ZkCross Network.
Thank you so much for the introduction. Good morning, everyone. Pleasure to be here. So let the presentations begin. Is there any way that I can go next here?
Yes, you can click right over here. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Just click next. Okay. Yes, so before we even start, let me give you a glimpse of my background and the journey so far. So, been an entrepreneur since 2008, launched 4 companies, had an exit in one of them in 2016. So that's when I entered crypto with mining Ethereum and Sia Coin. From there, I think a month came in 2016 where I was making more in a month than I made it in the entire year. So hence moved completely full-time to crypto. Then my friends and family saw me grew and they also wanted to invest, but they didn't really have the right knowledge of crypto or trading. So that's where, with a friend of mine, I created a fully automated trading solution based out of Telegram, where users can come in, follow a fully automated onboarding process, attach their API from Binance and Bittrex, select a predefined portfolio, and we used to trade on their exchange account 24/7. With just 2 of us in the team, it kind of blew out, like completely blew up for us. We had a volume of more than 45 million in less than 3 months. And then I grew it to around 145 million in the next 2 years that followed. And I think that gave me a first-hand exposure to the different complexities that a user goes through when onboarding crypto at that time. And then DeFi happened in 2020, where we were early adopters to like several DeFi protocols. And we realized that DeFi has a potential to completely change the way we perceive finance. But again, onboarding to DeFi is a complete rocket science for a normal user who's actually coming from Web 2. And that's where I began with a mission to solve the different complexities of DeFi. And that led me, the entire journey led me to this company, ZkCross Network. So let's start with the entire problem statement, like why are we doing what we're doing? So there are new blockchains, businesses, dApps being launched pretty much every day, but they don't really have the right users and liquidity in order to support the growth. So here are some stats. So firstly, if we talk about users, and almost 94% of all the active Ethereum addresses have not interacted with any other blockchain in the last year. And that kind of gives the impression that there is a lack, like a major lack of interoperability solutions, cross-chain solutions, which are kind of hindering people to move their assets from Ethereum and go on to like different chains as well. Then 85% of all the DeFi TVL is just concentrated with 6 blockchains. And there are more than like 1,000 blockchains at the moment in the ecosystem. Then the third starts that 94% of all the crypto projects fail because of low users and liquidity. So I think this gives us a pretty good idea of the different problems that we're facing into DeFi. I mean, there are many founders, businesses building back to back, but there's still, the volumes are low, users are low. We have only a certain amount of users who are in like DeFi Web3. And I think there is this need for a solution which kind of answers this question, and exactly that's where we come in. So ZkCross Network acts as a central hub which provides all the key components that is being required by like different developers in order to build truly cross-chain interoperable apps. Because at the moment, if you are a founder, developer of a business, you have to go through a major learning curve. You need to venture out to like several different, like I would say, products in order to form a truly like cross-chain app. But then like that requires a lot of time, energy, efforts, and there is a major friction that's there in order for people to actually launch their apps in multiple ecosystems. And because of that, we see less users onboarding, liquidity is really shy, and hence they lead to a place where their like funds usually run out, and they kind of be out of the market before they even started. So over here, we provide like cross-chain interoperability solutions where they are like cross-chain bridges, cross-chain messaging, smart contracts interoperability, which kind of forms the basis of a project where they can tap into several different communities in the blockchain ecosystem. Then, in order for masses to onboard Web3, it is, I think, essential, like not just a requirement, but it's actually very essential for them to feel that they are in one unified ecosystem and not individual isolated blockchains. And hence abstracting the entire user flow where abstraction of their wallets, their onboarding process, gas, slippage and all of that, which kind of for us in DeFi it's pretty normal, but then for somebody who's coming from Web2, it becomes really hard for them to even understand where like, they should begin. And last is a unified UX, where users, they never feel that they're isolated. It more feels that they're in an ecosystem where they can venture out to any blockchain, use any end use cases without them ever going through the entire learning curve. So this is the very first time, and we're like really proud to launch super accounts. So super accounts is a combination where as a user, you just need one account for all blockchains, and it comes with like zero complications. So you just come and be a part of the entire ecosystem. And I think everybody over here, even the Partisha team, this is the first time you're actually mentioning these. So the first and the foremost, if a user is onboarding, account abstraction plays a very important role, where we take care of all the different complexities users onboard through social sign-in or their existing Web3 wallet. So one thing to emphasize over here that we're not a wallet, we're not a blockchain. I think we're like one of the only companies in the ecosystem which is bringing the infrastructure that exists today together and not creating more complications by creating more wallets and blockchains. Then one thing that we also realized that because of 1,000+ blockchains in the ecosystem, it becomes a major security risk for people to actually manage their individual keys and go through the entire process of learning about gas, because it gets a bit confusing. Like for example, Ethereum, you have Ether as gas, but Ether also works gas in Arbitrum. And then like in Partisha, you have like other tokens which are used in gas. So there is a major learning of that's required, and we've abstracted the entire process where you as a user, with just one click, can activate multiple different accounts without ever having to manage the entire keys for you to be a part of the entire ecosystem. Then the other part is fiat on-ramp and off-ramp. So over here, we have been funded by Stellar Blockchain to integrate the fiat anchors, and we offer on-ramp and off-ramp pretty much in 100 countries at the moment, and aim is to cover the entire like world, I think, in the next 6 months. So people can come in bringing their funds from straight from the bank account to blockchain and vice versa. Then giving users a unified balance overview where they can go from pretty much any blockchain to any blockchain without ever knowing the underlying technology or going through that entire learning curve. Then one of the other problems that we've also solved is multi-transaction batching. So now users can go from one blockchain and buy like multiple tokens in just one approval, like not going through the entire process of going from one blockchain to another, and it kind of takes a lot of time, energy, effort. So we have combined the entire batching so that now you can be a part of pretty much any ecosystem, create a portfolio in just one click. Then in order for users to be a part, automation plays a very important role. And hence we've automated the entire process. So it's just one-click solution where users can go from pretty much any ecosystem to the end ecosystem without ever knowing the intricacies of the entire solution. Then, I think the most important is like security and privacy, and I think that's where Partisha blockchain's MPC infrastructure plays a very important role, and all the different wallets and accounts and keys are fully secured by MPC technology. So moving on. So this is the super app where we wanted to launch and everything, but then being in bear run, investments are really hard to find. So we had to find ways to fund the entire journey, and that's where we launched DeFi chain abstraction infrastructure directly on blockchains, where we work very closely with emerging blockchains in order to solve different DeFi infra gaps on their ecosystem, where we work, like we research, develop, build, and deploy anything that can bridge gaps into the DeFi infrastructure, from launching indexes to bridges to pretty much creating the entire DeFi ecosystem for Partisha blockchain. So how we do it? So in order to bridge those gaps, we launch an umbrella ZkCross exchange, where we have all the blockchains, all tokens, including fiat currencies. So now as a user, again, you can come and onboard the blockchain ecosystem with just one interface and one infrastructure. So here are some numbers to support our growth. In the past few months, we have a volume of like nearing around 80 million. We have 160,000 transactions. Almost 25,000 like users have actually used our ecosystem. And our average transaction value is a lot higher than the market average, is around $500. And we have received grants of more than 650,000 from like different blockchains that we're working with. So our entire business model is pretty straightforward. So we provide a unified DeFi infrastructure where different like developers, founders, and businesses can build. But we also build our front ends with super accounts, with ZkCross Exchange, and also launching an SDK, so that the end users, when they come and use our ecosystem, we earn a transaction fees. And for every blockchain, dApp, and protocol that we work with, we either like charge a grant or an integration fees in order for us to launch like different products on their ecosystem. So Cross token, upcoming ERC token, total supply 2.1 billion. So being in the ecosystem for more than 8 years, I actually kind of realized that a lot of tokens are being launched, and these companies give out tokens as rewards to the end users, but that kind of creates inflation. So we actually came up with an innovative token accrual system, where all the different users who use our products, we earn a fees in a Cross token that goes to buy the token from the market, and then it's actually distributed at rewards. So hence it kind of incentivizes the end users to be in a part of ecosystem, and it kind of supports our entire growth as well, and not creating inflation for our ecosystem. So we have been working with Partisha since past year, and I would say it's one of the easiest ecosystems to approach. And I would like really thank Bruce over here, who has helped us onboard flawlessly. I think we have spoken to more than 25 blockchains in the past year, and we realized that one of the major hindrances is not being able to like get to the right person and actually like pitch our products. And I think with that, Partisha was one of the easiest like ecosystems to build on, to work with. We have been building with their entire tech team. Our phase 1 is already live, which is a subset of our super accounts, where you as a user can onboard Partisha blockchain with just one click, where we have automated like cross-chain swaps, gas, slippage, bridging, and everything is like fully automated with fiat on-ramp. You can like today on-ramp Partisha with 100 plus fiat currencies from Ethereum, Polygon, and BSC with just one click, without ever having to go through the entire learning curve. Phase 2, we're launching DEX, like fully fledged DEX driven by privacy, where it's already live on the testnet. It's being audited by Halpon at the moment. Phase 3, now we're bringing and expanding the entire ecosystem, where we'll be integrating with almost all the major blockchains in the ecosystem, launching a universal SDK, so that any dev who wants to build on Partisha blockchain, it's fairly easy to do so without ever having to go through the like learning curve, even as a founder or a business as well. Then in order for the entire ecosystem to sustain in longer run, we have to get like different tokens and companies through the ecosystem as well. And that's where we are launching a truly cross-chain launchpad. So now imagine you have your tokens on any blockchain, and you want to launch your token on Partisha or buy the end token on Partisha. You can do so with our infrastructure without ever having to worry about all the different complexities that grows into being a part of a cross-chain ecosystem. Then cross-chain staking will play a major role in order to sustain TVL on Partisha, where we are launching a cross-chain ecosystem. So now imagine you want to stake on Aave or any other protocol on any other blockchain, but by having funds on Partitia, and you can do so straight away without ever leaving the entire platform. Then we are also working with like HIEX and other organizations in order to offer a truly, I would say, decentralized payment gateway where you or as a founder of a business can onboard different users in the same flow without them ever having to understand like the different complexities that goes into. So like let me take an example over here, like Visa and MasterCard kind of automated the entire on-ramping of fiat. So for you, like you as a user can go into a shop, tap in your card, add a POS, like money comes out from your bank account, goes to the merchant account, seller account, and the entire process is fully automated and abstracted from the user journey. So that's the kind of payment gateway that we're about to launch, and like Partitia will be the first ever blockchain to integrate this. Then lastly, launching Explorer on-chain analytics, which is easily like understood by the end user and not all the different complications that are generally present with different explorers. So this is our extensive roadmap. Phase one, we always wanted to start with a challenge. We're already live on non-EVM blockchains. Our like first ever solution went live on Hive. We launched on Tezos, Partitia, ICP, Stellar. Phase two was to expand our ecosystem with EVM blockchains. So we are already live on Arbitrum, launching exchange on Avalanche, BNB, Polygon, Optimism, Blast, and Base. Phase three is, I think that's where we're going to solve like one of the major problems with launching our super accounts. Phase four is getting the engagement from the end community. That's where we are actually tapping to Ton ecosystem, launching our bot on Telegram as a mini app where like users will be able to onboard and like seamlessly like transaction through all the different ecosystems we support, and which is like fully automated. In phase five, and that's where I started my journey, like Bitcoin ecosystem. So now imagine you have your tokens on EVM and non-EVM blockchains, and you want to buy runes or like BRC on Bitcoin. Even being today, if you're in DeFi, it takes a major learning curve for you to do so. So now imagine doing the entire journey with just one click. And we're also introducing chain abstraction on Bitcoin with complete fiat on-ramp. So phase six is where we're integrating RWAs. And I think our entire solution works really well with different RWAs, blockchains, and dApps that we're working with. And phase four, we really support fully on-chain activities and hence launching our own DAO, where we'll be like tapping into different communities in order to expand our ecosystem. Then this is the integration roadmap. As I mentioned, Hive, Tezos, Partitia, Stellar, ICP, we're already live on. With every blockchain we work with, we act as an extension of their own like dev team, where we've taken a very different approach where like we hire specific teams for each blockchain. For Partitia, we have almost 8 devs working full time for the past 8 months. So with every blockchain that we work with, we hire their own team and we're there for a longer journey. And also we realized that after speaking with blockchains, majority of them have really extensive grant programs. But then there are generally few devs who come together and build products, and it is not really in their interest to be a part of the journey in the long run. Where we work as a white-collar approach and we work for a longer vision and not just coming in for the grant, but actually coming in for the longer vision where we want to be supported by the blockchain team, work with their team in order to solve real problems and issues that they're facing. Then here's the team. We have more than like 45 years of experience in like launching businesses all across the globe. We have been incubated by Foundership and Blockchain Founders Fund. We have like one of the most industry leaders in Web3 as our advisors. Investor-wise, we've like already been funded by Foundership, Blockchain Founders Fund, NextGen, Master Ventures, Cointelegraph, IBC. We've been actually supported by blockchains, Partitia, ICP, Stellar, and Arbitrum. Our like public round is already sold out, where the on-ramp partners we have like Paid, OpenPad, BRC Starter, Synapse, ecosystem partners. We have like one of the industry leader, market maker, Halbon, InMine, and we're launching on like several other blockchains in the ecosystem. Here's a glimpse of our token sale. So seed round and public round are like completely sold out, and at the moment we're closing our private round. So awesome, thank you so much like for the opportunity. And if there are any questions, I would love to answer.
Thank you very much, Shivam. Thank you very much for that. That was a really good overview of your solutions. And just to illustrate one example of ZkCross's solution, the fiat on-ramp and off-ramp is really quite extensive. I was personally quite delighted to see that it even works with Colombian pesos, right? So that's obviously something. It works with all sorts of different currencies. Very happy to see that. And thank you very much for that overview, Shivam.